Good afternoon, 1/64 scale truck collectors. Seems like just like cars of the 60s, I like trucks of the 60s. So the Bronco, the International Scout, and everything else, really. Today we have the M2 edition of the 1966 Ford Bronco. And I'm not sure what HS21 means. Some of you veterans, maybe you could chime in. Oh, let's see what's on the back. Nope, nothing important. I really wish M2 would, show us pictures of other vehicles that they sell, but I guess not. I looked up Ford Performance in 1966 Bronco. I couldn't find any images that looked like this livery, but please leave a comment if this is actually a real truck. Maybe it was at SEMA or something like that, or is it just a complete make-believe, fantasy from M2? I don't know. Maybe some other people would be interested in that answer. I know I am. So it's got one of these cases, and I'm afraid that M2 cases are probably the worst cases. Well, I don't know, Schuco resins are pretty bad. The problem I find with this case is very often this black thing gets crushed inside of here, and then it's really difficult to pull out. I don't know if they've redesigned it, because I see a line here. See, it's just kind of weird. I mean, it's supposed to stop there, but sometimes it just goes too far and it cracks the thing. But it's also not the same size as other 1/64 scale cases, so you can only stack this case with other M2 vehicles. Alright, so that's not very friendly for collectors unless you only collect one brand, which is very improbable, right? Is there anyone out there that only collects one brand of toy or vehicle? Alright, let's see here. No tow hooks or anything like that. I had to go and buy a bunch of cheap screwdrivers at Harbor Freight because my parents don't keep such screwdrivers in the home. What did I learn from the internet? There have been 5 generations of the Bronco. This first generation was from 1965 to 1977, and it was meant to compete with the Jeep CJ5 and the International Scout. The chassis is a body-on-frame like a real truck, and the base price was $2194, which is around $18,000 in 2018. So, kind of like I guess a beginner level vehicle. Let's see, to keep costs low, all of them were sold with 4-wheel drive, a transfer case, locking hubs, a 3-speed column shifter. All the glass panels were flat, no curvature. Bumpers were straight C-sections, at least on the original ones. Door skins were also symmetric. The panel itself is just a rectangle, and then they put the handles on and the hinges on either side. 2.8 liter inline 6, making around 100 horsepower. Up to a 4.9 liter V8, but I couldn't find any specs on how much power that engine made. Maybe someone could leave a comment. I'm gonna guess it was around 200, but I don't know. So the reason why I brought this image up, even though it has these funky low beach kind of, well, no doors at all, is because it doesn't have a door frame. But you'll notice the ones with the actual doors, there actually is a window frame around the glass. So I kind of feel like maybe that's the only Ford Performance related image I could find online, by the way. Maybe this is just, again, a total fantasy vehicle. They also, M2 knew that they can't, if they molded in a little frame, it would definitely snap off. So they would have had to mold the whole window, which I guess they could have done, but I prefer the look of it this way myself. It looks a lot cleaner, even though maybe such a vehicle didn't exist in real life. What do you guys think? Alright, so now I'm noticing there's a little, spacer here that has 2 more screws to mount to the base there. Oh, I see. Seems like a lot of over-engineering, but they wanted to preserve the drive shaft here instead of having a screw go through the differential or something like that. Okay. Let me find my pick here. Alright, these tires are really gnarly. They're obviously modern tires on an old vehicle. It's like a resto mod kind of. But they look pretty good. They say Wrangler, Goodyear. They're relatively concentric. The tread blocks are really gnarly, and it's appropriate, I guess, for a modern tire. The wheels are 5 slots, and then they have the locking hubs and stuff like that. Pretty good wheel details. I like it. Alright, now going to the side. What I like about this brand is these are tampo prints, all these graphics. There's no decal stuff here. Right, so this paint will stay good as long as all the rest of the paint stays good here, like this black. I think the whole thing was shot in black, and they tampo printed all the stuff on top of it. Alright, door handle sticking out quite a bit. No color on it, though. I do feel like that should probably be silver, but a little silver Sharpie marker will knock that out, no problem. Some hinges here for the doors are sticking out nicely. Let's go around to the front. We got the extruded bumper, the C-section bumper, but this one's got a little roll brush guard, I guess, bull guard or whatever, and it's quite thin. It's quite delicate looking, but it feels quite rigid and strong. I mean, you roll this against a wall, I'm sure that would break, but just handling it, I almost feel like it's pretty durable. Although if it fell from a tabletop, it'd probably break. Okay, grill looks nice thin slats here, and it's all black plastic, so it looks dark, obviously. The Bronco is legible there. That's pretty nice. And then these 4 lights in the front are just painted white. Okay, which is too bad. A lot of M2s usually have clear plastic headlights at least. Kind of feel like they skimped out there on this one. Would be nice if at least the round ones are clear. Alright, going up to the hood here. Okay, it does open. We got a little big cowl on the top with the Bronco stamped on there, and that red graphic is well printed. And then we have some vents by the windshield. The hood actually opens as it should, so you can actually see the motor, which doesn't really, whatever. It's alright, I guess. It actually looks like a modern motor, so this is definitely like a resto mod. In this case, it's a modern engine. So the black hood with the white body looks fine for me. You know, the black hides the panel gap, so I like it. The windshield wiper blades are kind of weak, but I'm not sure how they could have done a better job. I suppose, actually, like looking at the front photograph I pulled up on the internet, this arm could maybe extend to the black frame because the motors are in the frame, right? But right now they're just kind of floating, which doesn't make as much sense as it should. The arms themselves are also a bit short, you know, they should be longer so they could actually sweep the whole windshield. But being a flat piece of plastic, its clarity is quite good. This side of the vehicle looks the same, except there's probably, well, what are these things? It's black and you can't see it on the other side. I'm at full magnification, which happens to be 4 times. I don't know, it's just 2 studs sticking out at the side. Maybe they're for like a canvas tonneau or something for the back. But this side doesn't have it. That's weird. So no studs on this side, and no fuel filler door that I can see. You know, actually looking at the real photographs, there's no fuel filler door on the side of this vehicle. Maybe it's in the back. So anyways, any Bronco experts, what do you guys suspect these 2 things are? Do they actually belong on this vehicle? Or is this something that M2 like future-proofed for some other variation? Okay. Alright. Good shot of the rear wheel and tire. It's the same as the rolling ones. Speaking of which. Sorry. Obviously it rolls. Right? Rolls really well. Ooh, that rear bumper. That's too bad. That bumper is not remotely horizontal. I do like that the plate says 1966 though, and then the tampo printed taillights are well enough that they're fine. And then there's actually the little plastic piece here for the swing out spare tire carrier. I don't think it actually swings out on this toy or this model now, but at least it's there. Yeah, see? So that's cool. Then it's nice that there's a different contrasting roll bar here, you know, this blue color. And then the ribbing on the seats looks pretty good. No headrest in an old vehicle like this. Door panel has some detail. Dashboard looks good enough. Big round gauge on the left. So that's a good interior. Column shifters also floating, and the steering wheel is all, you know, hollowed out. So much better than any sort of Hot Wheels, as it should be. It costs more. Ah, boy, if only this bumper. You know, M2 is like, I don't have many M2s, but it seems like half of the few I have, 50% of them have problems. Boy, I don't know if I can fix that. Oh, I probably can. Maybe it's just this pin isn't... I'll have to deal with it later. You can see the blue pins here on the bottom, you know, coming through from that roll hoop. And, you know, this thing has a lot of nice bottom details, if that fascinates you. The actual drivetrain is there. It's got the copyright, and tells you what the vehicle is. It's licensed. M2 made it there. So that has all the information I would expect, you know, for a collector to want to know. You know, you can buy this without the packaging, and or you can just pick it up and know how old it is and what it is. All right, if you want to take it apart, there's a screw in the front. The rear is a little questionable. Where would the rear? Maybe there's a hook, some sort of tab. I'm not sure how you'd take this apart, but being no roof, I see no reason to. I guess you could maybe repaint that interior tan to bring out the details, but I'm okay with it for now. Alright guys, let me zoom out. You know, you gotta remember, if that was 4 times magnification and you didn't see any problems, except for that bumper, that's pretty good. Alright, oh, one thing here. Well, alright. While this starts to spin up from the light. You guys, if you watch my channel, you know I'm a moron, right? So I reviewed this one, and this is the Johnny Lightning International Scout, the competitor, and I'm like, why doesn't the hood open? Well, someone was nice enough to comment that the hood tilts forward. So if you guys ever have an issue and you don't want to like jam a sharp object into a panel, I use this poster board putty. This is Scotch brand, about at Target, and the stuff doesn't leave any marks. It never hardens. I use it for mounting wheels in cambered positions, but it's sticky enough, tacky enough that you can open up a hood nicely without having to fear scratching the paint on your model, right? Alright, so the defense of Johnny Lightning, this hood does work. It tilts up a magnificent amount, and I guess, you know, at least you got 2 colors in the engine, so it's better than just one blob. I guess it's pretty good. There actually is depth to it, so I suppose this was one of the better engines. Okay. Alright. Well, you know what? Maybe we should compare those on this little coaster. Since they although one's a resto mod, the Johnny Lightning just seems to be an original. Oh, let me get a better angle for you guys. So, which truck do you guys like more? The classic Bronco or the classic Scout? Ooh, that's a tough call. I think I probably like the Scout more just because it's a rarer vehicle, seeing how International went under. But if I actually had to put money down, I'd probably buy a Bronco because I know I could get parts for it easier, and there's going to probably be a bigger aftermarket for modding it. You know, obviously if this is a resto mod itself. So again, that leads to the question, is this a real vehicle in real life? Please leave a comment for those that know. But in the summary, this is a pretty good M2, but you might have some QC problems like mine with the bumper. If that wasn't there, it'd be a pretty much perfect model. All the paint is really well applied. No plastic headlights. I feel like that would be nice. I would much rather not have this worthless stand and just have plastic headlights. That would be a great trade-off for me. Alright, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Oh, and I also try to give credit to this one shop here, Models Diecast Wholesale Models Diecast, where I got this thing. I'll leave it in the comments section. Thanks, guys. Bye. Happy trails.